Good morning, this is Kasturi Day. Today I am going to start with the physics chapter, light or light energy you can say, according to ICSE syllabus class 7. Okay, so light is a form of energy. We know that when we studied the energy chapter, we knew that light is a form of energy. It gives us a sensation of sight. Okay, and it travels in straight lines. That is, we can say, therefore, it is a rectilinear propagation of light. As light travels in straight lines, we can say that light has rectilinear propagation. Therefore, it casts a shadow on opaque object. Okay, as it passes through, it travels in straight lines. So, when an opaque object is placed in its path, then it can cast a shadow on it. And it easily passes through transparent medium. Okay, through transparent medium it can easily pass, and then it can also travel in vacuum. So there is no it is not required that there is a particular medium. Okay, without a medium also light can travel. That is, light can travel in vacuum. Therefore, sunlight travels through the space. Okay, then it forms an image on mirror or any polished surface. Any polished surface or a mirror, you can form an image okay, with the help of light. Now, what is reflection of light? Reflection of light is the bouncing back of light into the same medium in which it was incident after striking a surface. For example, see, if you place a mirror or any polished surface, light strikes that surface, that is the incident, that is, light is incident on that surface. Okay, then it comes back after striking that surface, light comes back into the same medium, bounces back in the same medium. That is called reflection of light. Okay, and depending upon the nature of the surface, reflection can be regular or irregular, or you can say irregular or diffused. Okay, so reflection can be of two types: regular reflection or diffused reflection. And diffused can be also called as irregular reflection. Okay, now what is regular reflection? Regular reflection is when a parallel beam of light strikes a smooth polished surface. Okay, when a smooth polished surface is placed and a parallel beam of light is striking on it, all the light rays are reflecting back as a parallel beam of light. All the light rays which are incident on that polished surface reflects back, as it also reflects back in parallel beam of light. That is called and in a definite direction. That is called regular reflection. It forms very clear images. Due to regular reflection, clear images are formed. It is caused by mirrors, still water surface. When the water surface is still, it's not wavy or moving like that. It should be still water surface, oiled surface, or highly polished surfaces. Okay, it may cause a glare on highly polished surface. It can also cause a glare. That is, it can produce a a spark of light, you can say. Okay, it can produce a glare on the highly polished surfaces. Now we come to irregular or diffused reflection. This happens when a parallel beam of light strikes a rough surface. What happens when a parallel beam of light strikes a rough surface? The rays of light which are reflecting in different, they reflect in different directions, or the light rays get scattered. In the regular reflection, the light rays were coming in a particular definite direction and they were parallel beams. But here, in irregular reflection, the light rays which are striking on the surface, rough surface, it comes back as a reflected ray, in scattered way. Okay, no definite direction, and they are getting scattered. They are not even parallel also. Okay, so this is irregular or diffused reflection. Then we come to the characteristics of the irregular reflection is it gives diffused or blurred images. Okay, the images which are formed by this type of surface, rough surface, is diffused and blurred. Okay, and formed by wavy water surfaces. These rough surfaces may be wavy water surface or oil chipped mirrors, old chipped mirrors, which are the mirrors which have been which are not good, which have been old, like they are chipped. All those type of surfaces produce this type of images. Note, all objects, whether they are rough or smooth surfaces, are visible due to the diffused reflection of light from their surfaces. Okay. All objects which are rough or smooth, all are visible due to the diffused reflection of light from their surfaces. Okay. Now, what are the terms related to the reflection of light? I told you that when there is a smooth surface, when there is a polished or smooth surface and the light striking on it, that light ray which is striking on that surface is known as the incident ray. Okay, the ray of light that strikes on the surface is the incident ray, and the point at which the light is striking, the light ray is striking on the surface, that is known as the point of incidence. Okay, now when the light is coming back after striking the surface, it's bouncing back from the surface in form of a ray. That ray is called the reflected ray, which is returning back to the same medium. Okay, so the light ray which is returning back into the same medium after striking the surface is known as reflected ray. Okay, now the one if we between that incident ray and the reflected ray, if we put a perpendicular, if we draw a perpendicular on the surface at the point of incidence, if we draw a perpendicular, we call that perpendicular as the normal. We call it normal. Okay, now the angle between the normal and the incident ray is known as the angle of incidence, and the angle between the normal and the angle of reflection, reflected ray is known as the angle of reflection. So, angle of reflection is the angle between the normal and the reflected ray is known as the angle of reflection. For example, I can show you from this image. Now, this is the incident ray, the ray which is striking on the surface. This is the surface, reflecting surface. The incident ray is the ray of light which is striking on the reflecting surface. This is the incident ray, and this point, where the incident ray is striking on the surface, this is known as the point of incidence. And at this point of incidence, if we draw a perpendicular on the surface, this is known as the normal. And when this incident ray is reflecting back into the same medium from after striking the surface is known as the reflected ray. Okay, the incident ray and the normal is making an angle between them. This is known as the angle of incidence, or I we can say. And the angle between the normal and the reflected ray is known as the angle of reflection, or R, small r. Okay. Now, what are the laws of reflection? For an incident ray, its corresponding reflected ray, the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Okay. The first law states that for an incident ray and its correspondence reflected ray, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. That is, here in this picture you can see that angle AON, okay, is equal to NOB. The angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Then the second point states that the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Here see, in this again we come to the figure. We see that the angle of the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Same plane it is lying. So they are, this is the second law of reflection. Okay. Then we come to mirrors. It is the best reflecting surface of light. Other surfaces do not provide such clear or sharp images like the mirror. And a good mirror has to be, there should be the maximum or the best reflection it should give. They should not absorb, it should not absorb any light. It should not transmit any light. Okay. So, good mirror has to give maximum, the best reflection. It should not absorb any light. It should not transmit any light. All light should be reflected back. That should be a good, that is the characteristic of a good mirror. Okay. It is made by silvering one side of a thin sheet of glass. Mirrors can be two types, plane and spherical. Spherical mirrors can be of two types, concave and convex. Okay. This is the concave mirror. Okay. And this is a convex mirror. Okay. This is the mirror reflecting surface, and this is the reflecting surface in this concave mirror. Okay. Okay. Now, plane mirror, a mirror which is a flat piece of glass that has been silvered on one side, that is a plane mirror. The glass makes the surface of the mirror smooth, while the shiny layer of the silver reflects most of the light that falls on it. Reflection of an object in the mirror is the image of the object or the mirror image. How can we say that a reflection of an object in the mirror, we say it is found by the image of the object or the mirror of the object. We can say that is the reflection of an object. Okay. So I stop here. I'll continue with the rest of the chapter in my next video. I'll start with the characteristic of the images of the plane mirror. Please go through this video. If you have any doubt, please do write in the comment box. And if you like the video, press the like button. And if you are a new viewer to my channel, or if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe to get the notification of my next video. Thank you.